I am back. The network was disturbing. I decided to change the location that I was. Welcome to my life. How are you? Welcome. Please. Oh, I stop. Welcome. How have you been? Hope everybody is waxing fine. Everybody is doing great. I'll just take this. When you enter inside my room, you play this one. You enter, you see the option to play. You press play. When you want the network comes. Welcome. Should we be talking about businesses today? I have some questions to ask. What is market research? Let's talk about market research as an entrepreneur. What do you understand by the word market research? To me, market research is the act of going out there to see those who are actually interested in your product, those who like the product, those who will be willing to buy. You are actually trying to sell a product. So we'll be talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about something which is very important into the world of today. That is owning a business of your own. You have to own a business of your own. You don't need to be employed. You need to be your own boss. It is very important in the world today, entrepreneurship. Very, very much important. Because once you have a business, there is nobody to boss you around. Even though a lot of effort, the people who just venture into businesses without being creative, without knowing the consequences. Welcome, and please, if you are joining the live for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to promote me, and also like this live and comment, and let's share our ideas. Please just hold on, let me fix something. It will just be there. Hold on, I'm coming. Hello, welcome to my life. Let's keep talking about entrepreneurship. Actually, there are different types of entrepreneurs. We have the social entrepreneurs. They we also have the techno entrepreneur, the corporate entrepreneurs, the large scale entrepreneurs. Owning your own business, there are so many things matters. The first step is, and there are different sources of finance. You have the capital and the debt capital. You also have the you also have the you also have internal sources, and there are external sources, which are the capital. It's also divided into equity capital and debt capital. Debt capital is an external source of finance. Then we have creditors. Those are external sources of business. We have bank loan. We have on credit. I think I've already mentioned that. Then we have the long term. We also have the long term sources of finance. That means those sources that would take a year. The excuse me, the child is crying. Let me check. Welcome back to my life, and let's talk about starting a business. So once you have of finance, do is try to draw, because you may have a better idea, but you won't actually have investors, you won't actually have capital. So you need to present a better business plan so as to capture investors. And also, that business plan is going to as well help you to know how to manage and to carry out the sales of that business. For example, we have marketing research is one of the elements that is going to be included in the business plan. This marketing research, it is just carrying out a research, a survey, to see your target customers, to see those who actually use your product, those who are in your product. Remember, you have some customers who are interested, but they don't have money to buy. You are going to have some customers who have already been consuming a similar product. You actually need to convince them so hard to buy, to go to your product. You customers who actually like and would like to try your product. So it is very important to present a business plan. Once you have presented a business plan and you have actually carried out, you have taken the business plan out, potential investor. And if the finances part is in clear details, they will be willing to finance, to invest in, because they have actually seen the detailed record. So once they see the detailed records and they are interested to finance that business, you can start by registering the business, acquiring the various documents, even if it's an unincorporated business which has little or no document. But if it is an incorporated business, this business needs so many documents to be presented. That is, we have a memorandum of association, we have article of association, we also have a certificate of trading, a prospectus, and other documents that the registrar of company is supposed to issue to any business before it can go from. A private limited liability company, once it gets its certificate of incorporation, public limited liability company must have before it can go operational. If you are just coming across my videos, please don't share your ideas. Let's talk about it. We are going to be talking about business oriented, and I'm just going to be saying everything I know about business. I'm actually a business student. I have my certificate on. I have a knowledge about business. So some people always confuse between a public limited liability company and a public corporation. We have the joint stock company. The joint stock company is made up of public limited liability company and private limited liability company. These are two types of companies. All of these two companies, they are owned by private individuals. They have shares issued to shareholders, and they are the owners of that business. While a public corporation is a state-owned business that is owned by the state, maximize profit, but just to provide goods, some of those goods that an individual cannot provide for his or herself, to provide those goods that even the less privileged cannot actually. So the public corporation is out to, they actually generate profit, but that profit run other affairs of the state. So they are main out to make profit. And you see that with the public corporation, it actually generates a lot of employment. It creates employment, and once it creates employment, the workers there will pay. The workers there are going to pay taxes, and those taxes will actually help in the state in running the affairs, because that's the main revenue of the state. So after doing all these things, if you are going to open an unincorporated business unit, which is made up of a sole trader, also known as one man's business or sole proprietorship. We also have partnership. A sole trader is any business unit which is owned and controlled by one person. His Finances are from past savings, gifts from family or friends, um, bank overdrafts, especially from cooperative credit unions or microfinances. We have plowback profits for an already existing business. Then we also have meeting houses, that's jangi houses in quote. Somebody can just decide to save up money in a jangi house, and at the end of the day receive the money and decide to start a business. That one is past saving. As well as the person can decide and take a loan from the jangi house, from jangi houses, even though most of the jangi houses are converted into common initiative groups today. They are even living from common initiative groups to cooperative societies, which is very helpful, because the government always give aid to those cooperative societies to help them run their affairs. The government always help these communities because most of them are farmers. So the government assists in the agricultural sector by giving them subsidies, giving them farm farming tools to help them, like fertilizers, spraying cans, and so on. Then we also have a partnership business. It is a sorry. It is a type of business which is owned and controlled by 2 to 20 people in a normal activity. When I say a normal activity, it simply means that there are different types of businesses, like a bank, like the banking system, that will actually need more than sufficient capital. Thank you for being here with me. Please, if you have anything, you can just write so that we talk more about it. In today's life, we'll be talking about being your own boss, owning a business of your own, which is very important. Thank you for the like. Please don't forget to comment. And if you are coming across this live for the first time, please do subscribe to promote me, and click the notification bell so that each time I upload a video, you'll be notified. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Okay, with these unincorporated businesses, they also have their disadvantages and they also have their advantages. Like for instance, with a sole trader, you are being your own boss, you are managing the business, you actually need to work hard so as to make the business function well, so as to have profit, that you are going to enjoy the profit alone. But they always have insufficient capital, since it is just one person who is contributing the capital. And if there is a loss, he or she suffers the loss alone. That is any risk that is taking place in the business. The sole proprietor is going to suffer that risk alone. We also have partnership business. Partnership businesses, there's always disagreement. The thing that always brings dissolution of a partnership is disagreement among partners, conflict. Once it involves so many people without certain laws, it is very difficult. Disruption. Even though there exists a partnership deed document which is stating the rules and regulations, the names of the partners, the addresses of the partners, how are to be shared, if they are going to charge interest on drawings, or they are going to pay interest on capital. This partnership deed is going to spell out all these things. and how to settle conflict if it arises. Now, a partnership business can start without a deed. It is okay. But the Act of 1890 states that where there is no partnership deed, profits are to be shared equally. No drawings are allowed on capital, and there will be no interest paid to capital. So it is very necessary to start a partnership with a deed, because if you don't have a partnership deed, and even if partner A contributes, partner A contributes 200,000, while partner B contributes 50,000, and if there is no deed at that time, at the end of the periods where their profits are to be shared, the profits are to be shared equally, irrespective of their contribution. Then we also have another thing that the of 1890 is saying is that no salaries are paid to any partner who is putting in any additional services to the business. So no salaries are going to be paid. So imagine two partners are operating a partnership business, and one partner is actually running the business, managing the business, doing everything, while the other partner is just waxing and relaxing. At the end of the day, you are to share the profits equally. It is not going to really be nice. So it's always good to start a partnership. That is something that is binding the partners. So if you are to start a business, you should make up your mind. I've given you the various documents required for a joint stock company. I've given you some few advantages and how this partnership and sole trader function. So if you actually choose to go for partnership or a sole trading business where you don't need so much paperwork, well, just especially in cases of the capital finances, especially to a sole trading business, it has a finance problem. To a partnership business where there are so many of them, they can contribute their capital, which is going to be high, but it is very difficult for a group of people to work without conflict. Yes, somebody will say, what about the sole trading business? Sorry, what about the company that there are so many people? But here you have to know that stock company. Let me start with a private limited liability company, which ends with an LTD, that is in English. This company can go operational when it has acquired a memorandum of association, an article of association, certificate of incorporation, and also with one director. That director is that person who is going to be working with the business, while the shareholders are just, they don't have anything. At the end of each year, they will have an annual general meeting, that's AGM, to set their law, to see how the business has been functioning. The director is there, so you will hardly see things like conflict, things like it's very difficult. Then we have the joint stock company. With a joint stock company, you will not only, and you cannot start the business with a certificate of incorporation. You need to also acquire certificate of trading, a prospectus, before you go operational. And you cannot go operational without having 2 or more directors. That business will not be able to go operational. So with those 2 or more directors, they are the ones actually managing the business. So it's very important to be able to manage that business perfectly so that you'll be able to have profit. And then out of that profit, you pay taxes. Out of the profit after taxes, you pay if you have debentures, you pay the debentures holders. Then you pay preference shareholders, and the ordinary shareholders, who are the main owners of the business, are going to take the last portion of the dividend. But there is always dividend proposed and paid. So that dividend proposed and paid is what will be paid to the ordinary shareholders in case the company decides to set aside reserves. That reserves is just like global profit, which is going to be retained profit, as well as the director can decide to say that let's set aside reserves this, and then dividend proposed and paid should be this. So after that, we are going to have retained profit. That profit is going to be retained into the business. So with all this, if you are to start a business, we are supposed to know the type of business you are going to be venturing into. Is it excuse me, is it a sole trading business? Is it a partnership business? Is it a private limited liability company? Is it a public limited liability company? Or is it a cooperative society? Cooperative society is just a group of people who come together, calling themselves members. They contribute and call to help one another, especially in the agricultural sector. Hello guys, welcome to my live stream and happy Sunday to you all. So with all this, before starting a business, you can now decide which type of business you want to venture into, so that you actually know the consequences of anything that is coming your way. And normally, once you start a business, know that at the starting point of a business, since you have actually incurred a lot of cost, you may or may not make. Do not expect huge profit at the start of. There are some costs that you have not actually. So most local businesses, they always look. Some they look profit without including labor. Some they look accounting for various expenses like transport, feeding, buying of pens, which is not right. Some they also look profit without thinking that the fixed assets they bought is supposed to be spread in over some years. So you are not just going to take a fixed asset you bought for 100,000 with an estimated lifespan of 10 years and just expect that in 1 month's time you are going to cover that 100,000 you spent. It is not going to be so. So starting a business, you have to be strong. Some people always run away at the starting point. Once you have a good business plan, you are good to go. You are going to have better investors so as to fund your business. That's just one advantage. You are going to know how to manage your business. You are going to actually be able to know how the business is running. You must have carried out the market research. With that market research, you will know the type of customers, the type of customers who will actually be needing your product, your finances, your production. You have forecasted all this. You are going to be able to know that if you do this, this is what you are going to gain. Excuse. Welcome to my life. Welcome. Please, let's talk about business, which is very important. Today's world is very important. That is your own boss, owning your own enterprise. Owning your own enterprise and managing it. Nobody is going to boss you around. Welcome. Like I said before, some of the external sources of finance to a business, hire purchase, which is the in which a business finances its acquisition of luxurious goods to down payment as you are pay cash. Half of the money is supposed to be paid by cash and then the rest in equal installments. When you are paid 1/3, that you have the right to a court order. Welcome to my live stream. Please, in today's video, in today's live, we are talking about owning your own business, being your own boss. That is, no one is going to boss you around. So let's share our ideas, our experiences. As for me, even though I have ideas about business, open a business. I once tried a business. I once tried owning my own business. My greatest problem was finances. The finance was not enough. And you know, once you have the finance, you can actually do a lot of things. You can actually carry out your market research without any problem. So the finance is very important. Welcome. If you are coming across my life for the first time, excuse. Welcome to my live stream. Thank you for joining, and I think we are going to till tomorrow. And please bring interest to it. Bring something that is very important for us to chat on. Thank you and goodbye. I love you all. Have a wonderful time and please stay tuned. Thank you.